This is the V. I just did the V2. That's a little close. This is probably one of the best I got. Yeah, I think I just sent a picture of this. The only thing is, you can see, it's not perfect. It's a bit. And then here's a. Nah, I found when I'm not gonna lie, I had to crank the screw. But they're pretty bent. And this guy already, I think he bent them already. But you can see one is super bent at least. This is a V3. Yeah. Unless they're key tie. The screws. So the V-frees look the same. I weakened it a ton, but it makes a crazy nice sound. Yeah, you got dibs. No, I don't have any of them. The one from Cody hasn't showed up yet. This one I got myself. This is the one I think I mentioned that the screw stripped. So it's supposed to be black. That screw is the one that I couldn't get out, and it just came like stripped to shit. But yeah, it's supposed to look like that. It depends on the material and which slider, but they can be expensive. This one exactly, you can range from, yeah, it just depends on the used market. I think I'll probably end up just keeping it in that kind of 8x6, because this one's just randomly super smooth. But this one also had, there's a bit of a gap, but I think I'll keep it in that 6x8, and then the new one. So this one just showed up, but I'm waiting for Cody's because I want to swap the patch. So I'm just gonna wait before I open it. Yeah, it ranges so much that it's hard to say, but yeah, that's pretty accurate. This one is way too crunchy. Yeah, inlays, patches, whatever. Yeah. It's interesting because this one I can hear them like, at least on this side, there's some give. Damn, everyone left. Yeah. But yeah, Color Zerk, this one's cool. But I'm just going to wait. And then I'll put his inlay while I open it. But yeah, I can almost hear some movement in there. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that because this one, that's never been a thing. I never even noticed it. That's a good point, though. They gave this, the person that gave me this one, they gave me 2 of these patch inlays. So I have another set of these. So I'm going to put that on another one, too. I think these are Zerky tie. They could be TI, but. This thing's actually surprisingly good. Oopsies. Yo, Nick, I don't know if you're still in here, but if you've seen these are the new kind yacht plates. If you buy brand new from him, he sends these ones. They have that like a rectangle. They're actually smoother. They probably have the smoothest side to side ever. One second. I'm trying not to. Yeah, usually just trying to make, I don't stop, but this is trying to have a different vibe, but I don't care really. But there's only 5 people, so it's not too much to ramble. And that was dirt, apparently. Gross. I guess, yeah. I'll do all the new Kai sliders or whatever. These are the V3 plates. With Zerky time. I think I still need to weaken it slightly. If you're still here, you'll laugh at this. This is a Kai, but it looks a little similar to the at EDC. I didn't get it to fully close for some reason. Yeah, I tried that trick. The last two have that weird one. It's like 8 on one side, 2 on this side. 6, and then 8. So it gives it that like glide thing. This one I can't change because I thought the screw got stripped. This one I'm gonna change. I just haven't changed it yet. Got it today. But yeah. These changed to 3-click, but were the other ones. Yeah, dude, it's destroyed. It's like it's supposed to be black. So that's a and I got it used and it kind of came like that, so that was a bit of a surprise. That was the only bad part about this. But it's so smooth that I've left it, and I'm honestly fine with it like this. Plus, if I like this one, I'll change anyways, so then. But yeah, this one obviously looks cooler, so I'm like, shit. But yeah, it's pretty funny, because I was like, let me try and open this, and then I can't even spin the screw. It's so fucked. No, it honestly is. I think it's hated on for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of like the Chinese setup, so people hate on it, but it honestly makes most sliders that not as good 10 times smoother. Like obviously this is a magnet, so it's always 3-click, but I think the other one I left is this. Like this is in that 8x6, and it's so smooth that I'm like, I don't even want to mess with it. It like glides. It's like a weird. It's 2-click, but it's not, because you still get more extension than 2-click. But like this thing is actually insane, and it helps you with tricks. Like, yeah, it's tough because that one's definitely like 3-click for sure. Well, yeah. Well, that's the same thing. I'm almost to bed, and I'm like, I'm not changing this shit. Like, sometimes that shit gets annoying. This one's also in that. So it's like 2 here and 4 here. The problem is you have to flip these magnets. They have to be the opposite polarity of these 4. And to get it to stay still when you close the fidget is like a pain in the ass. Because usually you open it, right, and you use the other plate to hold it, but they repel. So as soon as you open the one side, they shoot. So it's like a nightmare. So you have to use like a metal plate or some shit. But yeah, it can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely easy to take it out of that setup, but to put it back in is a pain. Because obviously, like if I open this, it's just going to immediately blast out, and then I can do 4-click. But with these, you may want to make sure you open the side with the 4 pieces. Because if you open the other side first with 4 clicks, and you lose those, then you have nothing to... You can just use a different slider, but if this was your only slider... It kind of is, because it's like... It's hard to explain. So, I'm trying to think what side is what. You can kind of test it by going down. So this side... So this side has 4 magnets. Big, small, small, big. So it goes down, down, down. So that would be 3-click. 1, 2, 3. But basically, this middle magnet since it's opposite polarity of those other two, so as soon as you come here, it shoots it up. So you almost like skip. You do it. It is 3-click, but you don't get the thump thump. You get like a. So the polarity shoots it forward. If that even makes sense. It would have helped if this was left in it, because you could see, but so basically instead of the 4 you have the magnet in there, but yeah, they're flipped. But like I said, yeah, to get it to set up, it's tricky because you have to use some sort of other metal. You can't use the other slider because it will try and blast the magnet away. It's really annoying. But like, yeah, I set up my PEIs in all 3-click. And like, again, 90% of them are 3-click because I think it is better, but that is true. I think it would, with that, it would do like a traditional, because if you had here, I think it would just go 2-click down, but I'm unsure. That is a good point. I've heard people call this the McRib, which I thought was pretty funny. Again, I'll say it just for put on the record again. I think magnet sliders, if you don't weaken them, suck. Yeah, burnt McRib with some mold on the side. But yeah, I O-ring flipped the entire, every single magnet, which usually I find makes it too weak, but this one, for some reason, I don't know, something about this material, it's like actually heavier than I expected and thick. I just got this today, I think, or yesterday. Well, you can see, like, it's not weak enough where it flies off, right? Like, it's still, I can still fling it. Because I find this thing stock is, like, trash. I find, like, you can't even move it. But I would say, like, my personal taste is to have them lighter and weaker. Yeah, I don't, with the SLB, I have never actually used it. So I don't know. It depends a lot on the slider design, because if there's not enough room. All right, 1 second. It's probably easier to explain with this. So this is the easiest example. So if you get a Magnus or whatever, it comes stock with the magnet at the bottom and the O-ring on top. And the O-ring is just there to prevent the magnets from like wiggling. But some people take them out because they like that sound, because it gives it like a, what people tend to call a crunch. But what I do is, like I said on this one, all 8 magnets on each side, I have like this, where the lovely focus, the O-ring is under the magnet. These are just basic Magnus O-rings, and yeah, that could be a thing with the SOB, is some brands O-rings are different sizes and thicknesses. So the only O-rings I ever use are Magnus. So like I take Magnus ones and put them in other stuff. But some sliders you have to be careful, because Luckily, this one fits, but sometimes, again, this isn't Magnus, so if I took Magnus O-rings on a random slider, it might make it not fit, but again, mainly Magnus. Yeah, I cannot give you the actual, I have no idea. But yeah, like this, yeah. Like for me, every single slider I get, except for some of these ones, in that it's kind of interesting because I find the ones from China already come way weaker. So like, let's see. So like these clones, obviously they're clones, but they come with like way weaker magnets. Like N30, N42, and N35, I think, versus like Magnus is all N45, I think, across all 8. No, I'm not. You can. That's a way to do it. That's the same principle, essentially. So all you're doing with the O-ring is creating like, so if these two things are magnets touching, okay, it's like adding a piece of paper in between. So it's just creating an extra distance between the magnet. So you're just creating like a physical barrier that's weakening the magnet slightly, just based on like distance. So it can't attract as strongly. But the same exact thing works if you just weaken the magnet. With magnets, it's the easiest to O-ring flip because the magnets and O-rings just fit in the same spots. So you can just... I use tape a lot, but I haven't recently. I've actually stopped using it for no particular reason. By the like, I find some sliders it's really good, but again, I find if you weaken the slider enough, you don't need tape. But tape is also good, obviously, if you want to protect. That's its own thing. Because, yeah, I don't think I have tape on any of these right now. No, I don't. Because, like, with the wrapped kind of ones, it's kind of like they're designed to be metal on metal, right? So it's like the feel and sound is kind of, when it's designed, was designed, like, put that way. But there's definitely a lot of times I use tape. Like, I use tape a lot before. It's just that with my new sliders, I've gone away from tape just because of what types of sliders. But tape is always nice too. Sometimes tape is good if you get to like so if you're like with magnet strength where you think if you're gonna weaken it one more time, it's gonna ruin the laddering. Because if you weaken it too much, it won't stick. These are the expensive ones. Like, these ones are not too expensive, but like this and like these are expensive. They're nothing compared to, obviously, the real when it comes to the price, but they are still, like, you're still paying triple digits. Nothing's like, none of these are insane expensive, but yeah, triple digits for sure. And like, obviously, if I'm picking Zircuti like this, you're gonna obviously pay a bit more. But to be honest, they are, like, I don't really promote clones in that. It's like, if you can get the real one, then why not? But the secondary price is stupid, but they are really good. There's basically only three brands. There's Kai Niao, these ones are Yanji, like with a YAN, and then they're rare, but then at EDC, AT EDC. Those are like the 3 brands. If you see them, you can kind of more trust them. Yeah, I think the clone dudes make these because they're way cheaper for them to make. Like, and they're good, don't get me wrong, but just, you know, compared to like this, like, I think it's just easier for them to just like, you know, punch these out of metal with the machine. But like this was like 120 Canadian, so US that's like $5, and it's like insanely good. Their names are so random, but the one that everyone knows, INS works, INS works. They're like the most legit one, but they don't sell clones and stuff. There's like some dude EDC out of print. That one's legit. I've ordered from him. There's limited PPB coins or something. He's legit. Like those are all the ones I've bought myself. Those are the main ones I can remember by name. But then there's a few other dudes that are like shop 11 something that are legit, but I don't remember the numbers. Yeah, exactly. 4 Innis works, yeah. But yeah, they're legit. But they just have everything like G1 would have. But they just tend to have a crazy amount of options. Like they just have a shit ton. And they have like everything. But they're kind of overpriced. But they're good when it comes to like, oh, I can't find something anywhere else. But they don't have the clones and stuff. For clones, there's an out-of-print guy. EDC, or some shit like that. And then limited something, PB, I don't know. But yeah, something like that. You will recognize it if you see it based on limited something, some PPB coins or something. That name will come up if you... Because I think if you search Kainiao, which is like CAINIAO, you'll get some of those stores. But this is a legit Skelly. Back to real. This is still probably one of the best things I have. This thing's insane. Yeah. Again, once you weaken it, it gets so much quieter. Because, can you see? Again, there's O-rings up here. No O-rings here. Like on the bottom O-rings. And then this side is full O-ring swap. So only 4 magnets still have the O-rings on top. And it's usually you leave the corners just so it locks. So it still gives you that lock in when you ladder. Again, if you want to try it, tape and weaken the shit out of your slider. Can get it pretty quiet. But this is just the most quiet based on the design makes it even quieter, right? But because even though I weaken the shit out of this thing is still loud. Just because it's, again, I think this is like technically kind of like plastic. But if you compare this to how loud it is when you get it stock, this is like essentially silent. Because when you first get it, it's like bam, 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 right? It's like super loud. Again, it's hard for me because I laugh because when I see people sell magnets on the groups, I'm like, if you use this thing without weakening it, like, I feel bad because it's like you're missing out. But then you sell it. Good for me, I guess. But like, yeah, I can't imagine just using it stock and then wanting to keep it. But saying that, I do recommend Magnus. Their stuff is super nice. Just weaken your slider. 100%. Yeah, because even this one, that's a full O-ring flip. And that's like, without changing magnets, that's as weak as you can go, basically. And it still ladders like, well, I tried to do a trick, but yeah, it's harder on camera, but this muffin tin one is hard to do a full around the world thing where I go. Yeah, it's harder to do on this one. But anyways, this thing's so smooth now. The texture of the PEI on this one is really nice. I'm not sure what else I haven't shown, but if there's anything you see, I can show. Yeah, they're really fun. These are called the FZ EDC or FZ EDC. They're on Ali, I think. They're really good. Like I have a, you probably heard of it, but a Mott groove. It's good, but these are better. And these are cheaper. But this looks pretty cool. Just make sure it's there's like fake versions of this one. I don't know what they're called. There's like a, yeah, I think that would be a fake. I think it has to say the FZ EDC in the name. Because the clones in China are pretty good with, they never really just say Mott slider and then it's not Mott. Like they're not fakes. They don't really do that. So when it's a fake, so like even if I was to say, okay, I'm buying this wrapped, they always say Kai Niao or whatever. Like they never say, you know, Modest Works wrap. Like they're pretty good with that. So yeah, it's probably, it doesn't mean it's gonna be bad, by the way, but because it still might be really good. But I don't think it would be this brand. They do have SS, but I think the SS isn't that common in that they didn't make too many. So I'm not sure what material would be. But yeah, when you're on Ali, always ask this. I always message the seller for a video. Like just make sure they have it. Cause sometimes a lot of Ali, they leave the post up even if it's sold out. So just ask. But there's also these HE EDC. HE. There's also these. This is a key. I forget how much you can. They have a Facebook group. They have zircons in stock, oil slick. But I think they're kind of around 200. But I got a PEI one. They're very good. But yeah, this one's easy in the sense that if you just go to the Facebook group and ask for it, you'll get it. Yeah, the mock clones, I have no idea, because that's like that's like the cheapest, the cheap clone. Like, I don't know. I've had some people say that they get lucky and they'll be good, but those are one of those things where they might just break. Key is good quality though. The PEI one, I have a 3D printed one. I'd have to get up, but it slides really nice. You have to check my channel. I don't know how long you've been around, but I have that one, the gold one. You can go back and look. It was really good. But for me, I paid like 120 Canadian. So I don't know what price you got. Like, I'm assuming that's US. So that's a bit high. But I think I got it from the out of print dude. And it was like, oh yeah, that's true. The 3D print one I have is like stupid loud. I think you can make it quieter if you, you gotta like, you'd have to ask the maker of whatever spring ball combo, but it's still gonna be louder than like, yeah, that's too much. But yeah, if you saw my video, like, it was really good. Like, I'll give it that. Like, I sold it actually because I had this one, so I was like, it's the same thing, right? So I don't need two of the same thing. So I was like, okay, whatever. But like, 120 isn't the worst price. It's overpriced for that item, but obviously that's cheap-ish compared to some other ones. But yeah, I would wait it out. Plus, that's an alley item where you probably find it later. Well, I don't really make like a lot of it. I'm not gonna make profit or anything like that, right? So I just, if I go to sell like those items, it's just to get some money back. Like, you do have to take a loss sometimes, right? Because it's like, but it gives you some money back. Where it's like, if I have two of these, I'm just gonna always end up using the Zerk one. So it's like, use it, get like 90 to 80% back, or have it just sit there, right? But it just depends how collection you want to go versus like trying new stuff. But you have to get lucky, because some of those cheaper items, people won't buy them because they just think it's a shitty cheap item. So you just have to get someone who knows their stuff and they'll come get it. But yeah, for that level, like the key slider, I never sold my 3D printed one. Because yeah, that one I wouldn't even, at that level, it's more like the 150 plus, you might be able to do something, but yeah. Oh, sorry, no, I meant I sold my gold HE EDC. I still have my 3D printed one, but it's just not with me right now. But yeah, I don't use it too often because it's loud as shit. But sliding wise and feel, it's really, really good. It's just ear piercing. But I'm also like not sensitive to the sound, but I'm pretty. If a slider's too loud, I'll sell it in like 10 seconds. Like I had Comp Perform once, and that's so effing loud. Like I don't know how anyone uses Comp Perform. Like for me, they're like unbearably loud. Like unusable. Because like physically hurts my ear. I'm like, who's suffering like this? It's tough because you get to the point like dude, everyone does it when they have their collection at the start. You buy the cheaper stuff to try everything, but then like obviously this is I don't want to talk about obviously how much this costs, right? But if you were to say I want one spinner, one rotation one, and one free floating, I would just invest in like, you know, you get 5 of like all the kind of types, but you get good ones instead of having like 20 cheap ones. So one mechanical spinner, one normal spinner, one rotation, one free floating, and one like up and down mechanical, and then you just get the good ones, and then you quit. No, yeah, I get it, but the thing is with the alley stuff that's cheap. I'm not gonna lie, there's some you can get that are good. Like I've heard someone talk about they bought a $30 wrapped clone. I don't remember what they said, like the name or whatever, but they said it's legit. Like they said it feels better than all their other sliders. So you can get lucky. And if someone told me the same thing with one of those Mott PEI ones or whatever, the problem is there's like 8 versions of them, so you don't know which one you're gonna get. But same thing, they got it. It's like it feels just as good. So it's like the risk is so low as well. But yeah, you do get stuck. Like you can't resell. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I paid $300 for the slider. You could buy 5 sliders that are probably like 90% as good. So it's like it's hard. But yeah, exactly. Honestly, I think it's mainly the right sellers, because the sellers that are good, they just have good stuff. So if it's cheap, they don't sell shitty stuff on their store in general. It's more when you get the random dude is like shop 995 and you're like, oh, that's a cheap slider, and then you buy it and it's like, oh shit. But the thing is, a lot of things on Ali are used also. So you have to be careful. Like those guys I was talking about, other than for Innisworks, they're all used items 90% of the time. Top D is like the skinny one, right? Like the dough. I have like no metal toys shit. And that's not really on purpose, it's never appealed to me. If I've tried a top B and it's good, but I had a top D at some point. But yeah, like I don't know if I would say that's it's tough because there's some people that are absolute ride or die metal toys. I'll give them that customization on it. It's like you can do whatever you want. So but I don't think that would be in my top. But again, I've heard that metal toys, you don't know what you're doing until you've changed them. Like some people say, oh, you get a top B it's only good once you change it. So it's not even like, and I do the same thing. I say the same thing with my Magnus. So it's not even like a bad thing. So it's just I don't know that ecosystem well enough to be like, okay, or Magnus, I know I'm gonna O-ring flip no matter what. I'm sure there's some go-to tips for those somewhere. Yeah, I've only heard good things anyways. It's just like I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they're bad. I think the only one I remember people complaining about was PI or something because it couldn't rotate. Or something like that. But yeah, they're kind of hard in the sense that there's so many options of like which balls, which springs, which material. Yeah, that's true. I guess it's more the other ones that I've heard about customizing. That's true. Like top C and B. I tried the rain. I think it's the rain with and it comes with like peak plates or some shit. My friend had one. It's pretty nice. Like, but I would say like the top B. I'm a little like unsure if it's worth the money because they're pretty expensive for what you get. But it is good. And I'm pretty sure like the Metal Toys dude is like really good at customer service. Like if you just message him on Facebook with your item, like he'll just help you. This thing kicks ass. Bro, no one should have enough this amount of money into their fidgets. It's fine. People in the groups are crazy, including me, obviously. So. Yeah, it's tough because there's like 90 different plate variations you can do, like zipper plates. There's something like ZZ plates. I don't know. It's almost like too much where I'm checking out before I even go in. It's too much. In most cases, I just like to buy the fidget and leave it because I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that shit. But like free floating sliders, it just kind of has to be done. Like even today I had to change some, and I was like, oh my god, I did not want to do it. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's like obviously if you can, it's good, do whatever you want. But yeah, I know there's people that, well, you can definitely see in the groups that there's some acting not so responsible. But yeah, like this is a lot. Don't get me wrong, like, but I'm good. But yeah, my thing is I've limited to the. It's still too many when I really think about it. Not even like money wise, just like use wise. But like I maxed the cases, so I'm not allowed to go over the case limit. I guess it's like that's how I limit it a bit. It's still too much. Like no person needs this many, obviously. But like I said, I still think it's like if you're in the game, get one top one for each kind of like category. And then if you get like your 5 and then just quit if you need. But yeah, true. Yeah. It's just you definitely can get the vibe that you can see some people are which to each their own. I'm not judging because like come on, like I could get judged pretty easily too. Um, but yeah, you can tell some people are doing that credit card life. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's tough. Like, let's be real. Like, having a Zerky tie over stainless steel doesn't really make a difference. Um, but it can just make a difference on like feel and weight. Yeah, I guess just try and do more research and then just really pick out the one you want. And then at least with some of the more expensive premium ones, like let's just say you're gonna do first rotation when you're gonna buy Mott Groove. The worst case is that at least you know you can sell that too, versus $30 clone. So at least this legit Mott that's expensive. The worst case is that you resell it. So there's always that of like those other ones keep their value a bit more too. Same with like Magnus. Magnus ones usually always sell. Like if you post a Magnus at a good price, people message you ASAP. Magnus would be a good way to get a slider if you don't have any, because the used market on Magnus is pretty good. They're not too bad. No, I get it. It's fine. The good thing with the cheap stuff, like I said, is like the experimentation. You can try a bunch of random shit. Because like yeah, even if you bought 10 Magnus sliders, you're still in theory they're the same thing. If you want to be like broadly speaking, so it's like one is the same as the rest of them. They definitely do feel different, and some are better than others. But yeah, no, I get that. It's like yeah, it's a toy, right? So it's like pretty logical conclusion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people knew the prices of this shit. They send me to the loony bin, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? Like, obviously you know the fidgets it seems, but yeah. Yeah, same thing, Wrap Light. I tried once. It's before I learned more about sliders, but yeah, I didn't like it because it was too strong. But again, you weaken, make it good. You just got to get right to that edge of weak enough where it ladders perfectly, and before the laddering doesn't, it sucks. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get judged because I'll probably post this after. But no hate on anybody. Yeah, I don't know. Mine was I think it was SS. So like shit was crazy heavy. Like I found it super heavy and hard to like push the slider. So it was like again, but I'm also on the other end where I'm like some people would probably try some of these and be like, well, how do you use this? Like it's too light, blah 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 blah. But yeah, with heavier sliders you weaken slightly less because they'll fly off easy. But um I don't know what inserts do you have. You could change the inserts to like the plastic if it's not already, but I don't know. None of these are even close to that heavy. Like this is SS and it's like heavy, but when I had the Rat Light, it was like a beefy. Yeah, but maybe look for Kai Niao. If you can find a good deal, and then again, depending on what your take on clones are, but or Magnus, and none of the Magnuses are very heavy, except the turtle. I just had the turtle and I just sold it because it was like too heavy. Very nice, but yeah, shit was fucking huge. Like this is full stainless, and I'm pretty sure it feels like half the weight of the TI turtle I have. Yeah, you will be able to find, if you get lucky, because like I said, this 120 Canadian, and it's like super good. So whatever the US conversion is, if you could find that, that's a Yanji, I would say that's 100% worth it. But you'll need magnets probably, because like I said, they come in that weird setup. No, but yeah, only if you find a deal. Sometimes AliExpress has those stupid sales where it's like choice day or some shit, and there's like the coupon codes. Yeah, I think I got one on like Valentine's Day. I had a code, I think this one, to get it down. Shit, this has been going on forever. I'll probably end it soon though. It's just me and you chatting 1v1. The only thing I'll say is that, like, if you could find this exact slider for 85 USD, it's probably the best deal you ever get, because this thing, I'm just gonna say based on how good it is. At least to the setup I got it. Yeah, as long as it was a good one. But yeah, like, again, I do agree, like, again, these are like the premium clones, quote unquote. But I would say like this is super, super good. So if you got a good deal, and you have to make sure you're getting the right one, it would be worth it, because you're getting like the quality of like a $250 slider. Because you could argue that this is better than all my magnets, and those are all like expensive, right? So, but you could also, if you can justify buying a Magnus, for example, at like 130, because you know it's not a clone or whatever, then that's also a good option, especially in the used market. I think I've about shown everything, but there's more spinners, but I don't think anyone cares about spinners. At least in videos, they're less entertaining. Yeah, and the weakening them makes it like a different sound. There's less of that super loud, like bam, bam, bam. Yeah, the good thing with Magnus also, like I said, is resells there too. So like you pay 130 on a clone, you can't sell it, right? It's not even allowed to sell in the group. So Magnus is like, if you get the right one, it will be amazing if you weaken it, in my opinion. And then you can always sell it. And there's even stuff of like, oh, you got it. There's different plates available now because Magnus has a bunch of shit, right? So you can always swap out stuff. But the prices on these aren't that bad. The new ones coming out, and the new plates on them are super nice. There's one entry Magnus that's like the Toad 3-click. That's usually like the cheapest one. When I first was getting this liners, I bought that, and I was like, I don't like this at all. But again, that's way before I knew about I didn't even know O-rings existed at that point. So like, I didn't even know about weakening. But like, even that is just as long as you weaken it, again, that's what I think. You can get it to a point that all the Magnus sliders end up being like amazing. I think these are technically not. I don't know how they do it. These are like this is a super grub, and this is like a wacky fiber. They're not, if you go to the website, these won't be listed in the actual Mag Labs category. The Mag Lab ones are like those are like $270. Those are fucking expensive, like $280. But that's because he's doing like one of one metal designs where he'll be like, this rainbow Zerk one. Just so you know, Magnus has a coupon code, FUN15, on their website. Anyone can use it unlimited amount of times. It's 15% off. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I don't know. Most of the people know about it, but like FUN15. But yeah, these are technically not Mag Labs, I think. I don't know, but because basically the Mag Lab ones are like the metal ones, and then all the ones in the other one are been like resin. I think this is called like wacky fiber. I honestly don't know what this is. It just feels like plastic. This is the crazy fiber, so this almost has like a texture, soft, carpety feel. It's pretty nice. Has like a rubber grip to it. These are like I think I got this for $130. And like these new plates are really nice. In most cases, I'll say if you're on the market, is not skip muffin tin, but I just find them not as nice. They're really, like this one is really good, but I would just skip the muffin tin and go for the new plates if you can. But yeah, like you said, they're kind of hyped as hell right now. So like, probably want to just let it cool off a bit. Because then on secondary, the prices, people are going crazy on the secondary for this shit. And people are collecting so many that eventually it's gonna drop. The price will drop probably. And then it's probably a good time to go in. But Magnus buy and sell, the buy-sell trade group is bumping. So you can always go into that and find some stuff. So even if you went in, like I have a max budget of 120 and put a post, they would probably hit you up. But yeah, exactly. Like I only say that just because these are really, really nice. And again, these aren't bad by any means. I just find with these, you really need to weaken. Not like the amount of weaken, but like without weakening, I don't find them good. But the other ones, I found that they were usable without weakening, but oh my god, I keep talking. But yeah, there's like the older dimple-y ones or whatever they're called. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Just keep an eye on the group, and then if a price comes up, then you just grab it. And as long as it comes with O-rings, you can do that O-ring flip on most of their sliders, and it's super easy. And you don't have to, deal with buying magnets and all that shit. I do like that about magnets, that like all these Chinese ones and fakes, I have to like wait for get magnets and make sure I get these certain plates, and it's like a pain in the ass, to be honest. But magnets, you kind of just, the worst case is you can O-ring flip and you're good to go. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I'm dying. I'm tired. Good chat. I ended up rambling, even though I didn't want to, but anyways, I'll probably post this so people can come back and what's it called? Oh no, they magnets, they do. There's a way to, I don't know where to get them, but I've bought no rings from them before. I don't know if they've stopped, but almost think you might just go to the search bar at the top and type O-ring or some shit. It was doable because I've done it myself, but anyways, yeah. Have a good one. Later.